I'm Kevin Shroth. I am a communication instructor at Kirkwood Community College. I've been here for just a little over a year now full-time, and I was an adjunct several years ago. To organize the material, right? You can generate multiple themes for the same person. Learning styles are theories about the educational process that posit that there are certain ways in which students process information. There's a variety of ways in which students process information. And so, as a result, if teachers can teach in ways that match or mirror these processes in some way, then those students will succeed better in class. Their academic scores should go up, their academic success overall should be better, they'll better retain what they learn, those sorts of ideas. So it's all about thinking that there is some ways in which teachers will be more effective if they match how students take in information, and they'll be less effective if they do not, if they teach in ways that do not match how students process information.
It's a lot easier to remember, right? You got all those details right there, right? Just by adding the preview and review statements, right? It's amazing.
There are a number of problems with learning styles theories. There's very little evidence that suggests that even when you can identify the learning styles in students and match a teacher's teaching style to that learning style, that students perform any better. If learning styles is at best problematic, right, then what do you do if you want to do a better job in the classroom? Well, there is quite a bit of empirical research that does support other techniques and methods that you can use in the classroom to help your students learn. First of all, feedback. Quality feedback on assignments, going into detail about what needs to be improved and what students did well. There's tons of empirical research that suggests that that really does help students improve. Number two, the other thing that really helps students do better academically in their classes is to teach them study skills, specific study skills. Some students, they come to school and they've already got that down under their belt and they're ready to go, but many students have never really been formally or explicitly taught how to study. And so research shows that if you take the time in class, and it doesn't have to be much time, 20 minutes in one class, to go over how do you create and use flashcards, right? Or how would you create a study guide for yourself? Spending just a few minutes going over how you do that process, research shows that that really does help improve student performance. Providing clear criteria for success for students. So if you can post grading rubric or whatever it is that you're going to use to assess students, which I do myself, students tend to find that very, very helpful, because if they know exactly what they need to do to succeed, then they feel a lot more comfortable, the anxiety goes down, and that also just really helps them in terms of becoming a little bit more goal-directed in producing quality work. Again, research shows that that is very positively correlated with student success. The last thing that really helps might be outside of the control of faculty and teachers, and that's having a positive attitude within the students that what they're learning is worthwhile. Teachers can take time to point out why what they're learning, what they're teaching their students is important. Will the students buy into that? Right, is the question. Some will and some won't. I think it's worth it to take the time to do that. I do that in all of my classes, and I think that does really help. But ultimately it comes down to students also having some responsibility over their own learning in their college education and investing themselves emotionally in that learning.